Boots, did this ever have any other endings in your mind?
No.
Nice.
No. Had different ways of getting there. Originally, I had, actually the way I pitched the movie with the treatment was that a group of boosters find a teleporter. And I wrote that part, and then I got bored. And I went and I wrote the rest of I'm a Virgo, the TV show, and then I wrote 2 other scripts that I've since sold. And then I started thinking about, because all those have science fiction in it, and I was thinking about science fiction and why I'm interested in it. Just, because sometimes that's what I'll do is I'll ask myself questions about why I like the things I like. And so then I started thinking about how science fiction has changed the way that we think about our current reality, the way that we think about our existence. And the example that I was thinking about was like the fact that, okay, there is no such thing as time. There's only right now. Everything in history is a memory, or whatever we're reading right now that had been written before. And then the future is just our imagination. Now that's scientifically provable. That's there's empirical data. That's what most of science believes. But when I say that there is no time, there is only now, I sound like a hippie. And the reason is because of science fiction. It makes us, that concept being out there has made us think, well, time does exist now. We don't have the technology to do it, but they call it science fiction because apparently, scientifically, it's possible, it just hasn't happened yet. Maybe in 1,000 years, maybe in 2,000 years, 5,000 years, I'll figure out how to go back in time. And so that has changed the way that we think of things. And so I was like, well, what if instead of bullshit like that, I put philosophy that I live by in there. And that's when I put dialectical materialism into the device and had it be something that runs off of that. And then I got excited and finished writing it, but it was always gonna end with that. I mean, those are my reasons for doing it in the first place. Mm-hmm. So the idea is to write something that makes you feel this certain way. And then, but the adventure, it's also in the same sense of we only have right now, it's about the experience as you're getting there. Because so much of what I do is based on experiences that I've had as an organizer, or experiences that I've had as myself becoming more aware of the way the world works, becoming radicalized, if you will, where you think things are one way and then you find out something else and the world opens up. Mm-hmm. And it feels like everything is different. It's also kind of like if you've ever had a baby or ever fallen in love, all of a sudden colors look differently, Like if you have a new baby, you might be looking at these walls and be like, oh, I wonder what they would think, things like that. And things look different and feel different. And so I'm always trying to have those parts that are opening up, that changes your understanding of the story and changes your understanding of the world that they're in and that you're in on that journey.
This movie riles me up. like, your last name is Riley. And whenever the movie ends, I'm like, let's do this! Like, this is what the movie's for.
Alright.
Yeah.
And then I literally do that in the theater, and everybody's like, oh God, here's a middle-aged white lady getting all up on her business again. Natasha, as our fearless cinematographer, can we talk about the use of, yeah, right? Yes. In your conversations about color, did you ever talk about, was there a specific symbolism to the colors, or was it just like, this looks gorgeous here?
No, nothing is gorgeous. Nothing is just like gorgeous for the sake of beauty. I think everything for us has an emotion that we're supporting, because the whole point with the color and with the visual roller coaster is to take you in this experience that makes you feel part of it. The whole point is that you're part of this ride, and that by the end you are with this character. So it's not about cinematography, acrobatics, or like fancy colors for no meaning. On the other hand, we don't sit down to talk about theory of color either, and intellectualize about it. I think we have a very similar approach that is very emotional, and we share a lot of, even though I'm coming from Argentina and he's coming from Oakland, I think we share a lot of somehow things that have marked us. We have more or less the same age. So there's like emotional references that are very strong, and that became immediately like a common language. So we just had to explain some feelings that were coming from the script, from music, from certain movies. And I think I was able to kind of tune into that, right?
Yeah, and it was, more all about the feeling, because sometimes you read some things that are supposed to be color theory. I don't know what it is, more like astrology or something, because it'll be like, it'll be like, this color makes you feel like this when you're wet or something. I don't know. And you're like, really? I don't know. And
wait, why are we bringing astrology into this? Why are we hating on astrology?
I'm just saying, like, it's not.
What's your big three, Boots?
What does that mean?
Sun, moon, rising.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I made a show called I'm a Virgo. I don't know. I'm not a Virgo, and I don't know.
Well, what was your time of birth?
It was at night, but not last night.
Don't gatekeep your time of birth. I need someone here to be.
I was born 1 a.m.
Someone start Googling.
But my point is that I think I'm making more of the point that that astrology tries to make. I'm not trying to intellectualize like what this color makes you feel at this time. It's more like, what does it make me feel, not what is it supposed to make me feel. And that's what you go off of.
Yeah, your gut.
Yeah. Just like,
So
I'm not the way I am because I'm an Aries. I'm the way I am because I'm an asshole.
Well, some could say that is related to.
Okay.
Well, I would say Aries are assholes. I would say that they're just like.
I don't think I'm an asshole, actually.
Fiery.
I was just making a point.
Poppy, even just listening to you guys talk, I'm like, this set sounds like it was fun. Can you talk about working with all of this cast? Because together, you are the most exceptional cast of characters on screen together this year. Period.
Whoa, that's awesome. I would say that like we're all. It's like getting the like loudest bitches in every friend group together into like loudest bitches friend group is what it was like. And I feel like, especially when like, all the girlies were together, it was just like and then, like, Boots is sort of just like be bobbing around being like cool. So I would be like kind of like funny at one point we turn around and be like, oh, we have to shoot. Okay.
We should be like, can we rehearse?
Yeah. So
And then I'd be like, that's the rehearsal because
Well,
you guys
yeah,
were
so-
like
There was like,
Vibing.
when we didn't even chemistry read before Boots cast us, he just like was in his little witches culture and like, yes, I see the vision. So we all met like, for the first time. Well, I think some people had like known each other vaguely before, but we all met in Atlanta. And we did like a in quotes rehearsal, me, Kiki, Naomi, and Taylor. And it was like a 3-hour long rehearsal or something, where Boots was like, I want to rehearse these 2 scenes. And I think we maybe read through it once, maximum twice in the 3 hours. And in between, we talked about all of our exes, we talked about like conspiracy theories, we definitely talked about our big 3. You probably sat out on that. Very fishy, very fishy. And we were like, you know, it just was like everything. At the end of the 3 hours, we were like, oh, our bad, like sorry, we didn't actually rehearse. And Boots was like, no, that was the rehearsal. You know, so yeah, it was just like, it really was vibes. Boots is really good at vibes, you know?
I think that this should be the new standard, like olden days, it's like, oh, are you a Carrie or a Miranda or a Samantha? Now it needs to be like, are you a Jungkook?
Yeah.
Are you a Sade? Are you a Mariah? Am I right?
Yeah.
Who has questions? Oh, I got so many questions back there. You, yeah.
Hey Boots, this is kind of crazy for me. I've been a fan of the Coup since I was like 12 years old.
Oh, shit.
Thank you so much for the music.
Back when I was 12 myself.
I wanted to ask, so I was really excited when I heard that there was going to be a film called I Love Boosters, because that's one of my favorite songs. I wanted to, first of all, ask how much of this story existed when that song was written? And then second of all, are there any of the other songs from the Coup that you're looking at kind of transitioning to cinema?
Nice.
No, this wasn't even an idea to you know, I went to film school and we got a record deal while I was in school, and I think I'm a junior, but we didn't, but I didn't, at that point when I wrote this, I wasn't thinking I was actually gonna make movies. So, yeah, so that story, I mean, there's elements of this story in that song, so it's more like this movie came from the same place that the song came from. But, and then what was the second part? Oh, other songs. No, I mean, you know, there's a temptation to be like, oh, because I wrote, we got, you know this if you're a Coup fan, but other people don't. We got known for these like 8-minute long story songs. And so there's like, oh, there's all these things, but I don't have any plans for them at the moment.
If your next movie's called Guillotine,
Yeah.
I wanted to see 500 Ways to Kill a CEO as a road.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Right.
as a maybe tutorial.
Go ahead.
Hi, obviously fashion is such a big part of this movie. It's gonna be referenced
Good
for
job.
decades. So many Halloween costumes coming your way. I was wondering if you could talk about like how much you came to the table with the vision for these costumes, how much you collaborated with your costume designer, and then Poppy, how the fashion informed your character.
So in the script, there was a lot of ideas about the production design and the fact that there would be monochrome sets, things like that. But no, the costumes, that was more just me and Shirley talking about it a lot. It took a long time for us to get the funding for this movie. So we did a lot of talking about it, and also I picked somebody that had the kind of style that I like, right? So if you see Shirley in real life, it's obvious
Like
that
she looks like this.
Yeah.
On a daily basis.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So a lot of it was just her being like, how about this? Yes. How about this? Yes. I probably said no 1 time, maybe 2 times. But it was also, what was great about Shirley is some of the things she drew and built, but a lot of things she also just knows how to go get from a thrift store and mix and match and call people up that she knows, and she knows a lot of people. I think that a lot of costume designers would be like, a fashion movie? and I'm the costume designer. This is how I get my line going, right? And then you spend all the money on making, you know, a few things, and then you're not able to do as much amazing stuff through the whole thing, you know. So that's because she's attaching her ego to the finished product as opposed to like being able to be like this or that about that. But and I knew that from her past projects that's how she worked. So yeah, basically Shirley just was like had all the awesome shit. So
And Poppy, how was it to wear this gorgeous stuff?
Okay, so last night, like, we did like a friend's family screening at the AMC in Americana, and Shirley was there. I think this is the first time that I heard her say, because someone asked a question to her about costumes or whatever, and I don't know if it was because it was like my friends and family thing or whatever, but she was like, Poppy really set the tone for me, because she was like, you're our first fitting, and like, her and like the wardrobe associate Lindsay, who is like, I mean, I love them so much. Like, Lindsay's my stylist now. The entire Boosters press tour was styled by Lindsay, with Shirley as like our fairy godmother kind of consultant. So we always be FaceTiming her, and our fittings being like, black thong or nude thong? Or like, out of these three options, which ones do you like? And we could tell, be like, oh, she didn't like that. She said, she would say like, that's my favorite of the two. Be like, oh, she needs it. Like, you know? So like, I love them so much. But she like said last night, she was like, yeah, that was our first fitting. And she said, we just had so much fun with it. Like, and I don't know, they're just, for Xiaohu's character, like, we have all the fashion looks for, you know, the flower and the avant-garde and the anime, whatever. But like, for Xiaohu's character stuff, when she's in China, like, Shirley and Lindsay had just hit up Chinatown in LA and got a bunch of just like things there that were sort of like slightly off-brand. Like, it looks like Miu Miu, but it's like Min Min. Or like, you know, the shoes are like, it's like Balenci Gaga, you know, like the tracksuit that I wear for a lot of it just says sport on it, and it's like, you know, it's so kind of like, it's like Chinatown fashion, which actually is kind of like trendy now, but like it comes from that place, which is ironic, because then if you trace it even farther back, it's like the China-fication of like Western fashion that was primarily made in China to begin with, and so you just have this like weird cycle of stuff. But anyways, that was, I don't know, I feel like we had so much fun with that, of being like, we just understand this person so much, as sort of like in a complimentary way, this like fobby way of like dressing. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of my childhood photos of like when we first immigrated here are like versions of that too, where like, you know, my uniform in first year was this gigantic oversized tweedy sweatshirt that my parents got large so I could wear it for as many years as possible. And then like blue leggings with white polka dots, they also got in 3 different sizes. So I could continue wearing that also from 1st to 3rd grade. Anyways, so I feel like the storytelling of the fashion and like why you're wearing this and stuff, they're such storytellers, and yeah, just like the best. And also they're like, you know, they're like girly pops, you know, like they're the girls. Yeah.
A thing also should be said is that we used students from SCAD. A lot of their designs are the ones in the fashion show.
Oh,
And
awesome.
actually the person getting the award at the beginning on the TV was a SCAD student whose designs were used.
That's cool. There was a question back there. Go ahead.
Oh, I really love the slanted apartment set.
Yes.
Here's for Boots and Natasha. What went into conceptualizing and executing that set? Was it all done practically?
Well, yeah, originally I had written in the script that it was at a 25-degree angle. And because that seemed about right, like boom, that's how I do it, boom, 25 degrees. And,
Not the lip rest. Like, boom.
and our production designer, Christopher Glass, was just like, I don't know, you know, and everybody was like, well, everybody will have to have wires on the whole time, including the crew, in order to do that. And so I felt, you know, I compromised to 15 degrees, which I thought was a big sellout. And, but actually it was better. It went up, I found it's 17 degrees. But some people had to have Dramamine or something like that. Right? Yeah, because it was still like you get dizzy, and then for parts of it, some of them, like Kiki had wires on and stuff like that.
When she is scrabbling with her legs.
But yeah, you had to get like an arm.
Yeah, we had a big techno crane because we thought we were not going to be able to walk. When they were building it, we all went there and were like, 15, it's a lot. But I was talking with Chris the other day just to make sure that I had the right number for the American cinematographer, and he told me he built it 15, but then he put something, he lifted up to 17. Yeah,
Right.
and it's a lot, 17 is a lot.
And that's kind of a play on, is it the Millennium Tower?
Yeah, so in San Francisco, there's something called the Millennium Tower, where everybody's bought like $10 million condos and all that kind of stuff, and it's built wrong, and it's sinking 2 inches on one side, and it's continually sinking more. But people keep buying the stuff, buying it. And,
Yeah, 'cause it's fancy.
yeah. So ours is the Decadian Tower.
When Kiki's sitting in the meeting and she's in the turquoise chair and it accidentally gets turned on, was that a machine or is it someone's hands kneading her face?
It is someone's hand.
Yes!
And you know, operating the arm things.
Awesome. Oh, to be that operator.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. Which is, you guys need to keep doing this roadshow, and we need to talk about every scene by scene. You guys, your questions were amazing, and there's also a very important message about this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I know it could seem like since Neon is the hot shit distributor that it's, you know, that it's all taken care of, but it's not. We need your help, right? With Sorry to Bother You, we were able to roll it out a few hundred theaters at a time and over the period of a whole summer, but we're not gonna be able to get that this time. There's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of good stuff too. But I will say, nothing like this.
Nothing
right?
like this.
And so if you like this movie, I need you to tell everybody about it. If you like this movie, I need you to post about it on every platform that you can, so much so that your family calls you and asks you if everything's okay. I need you to tell people in real life about it too, like strangers at the cafe. Show them the trailer. I mean, it even works at a bar too. You might even be able to get,
Yeah,
you know,
these are
someone you're
opportunities.
interested in to get closer to you so they can be here. You might end up with a date to see this movie again.
You better message all of your exes. Say sorry to them. And say,